after 3 weeks on the road, it is really nice to be home. Many of you guys are a little confused about what's been going on in the channel the last few weeks. And I was on a wildland fire for 10 days at Carlton Complex up in northern Washington. And then I got back and I was only home for a day and a half or so, 2 days, whatever. And then we headed down to a camp meeting, the family. We loaded up the adventure van down to Southern Oregon, and we were down there for a few days. And then we finished up our trip, made a little side trip into the giant sequoias in Northern California in the redwood forest. So that's what you've seen. So the videos that I've been putting up have been not the best, maybe not what we're usually up to the usual standard for the channel, but there was a lot of learning, doing things from my iPhone, using my iPad, and so it is what it is. So I have a lot of great stuff that I have in the can that I'm going to start putting up over the next week or so, and check it out. This was waiting for me when I got back. This is the Baco from Baco, came overseas, a DHS box, and we'll be putting the Saga to a rest. Also, I have a really interesting video that I'll be putting it up. We were able to get access, unparalleled access, to the Smoke Jumper flight base in, was it Southern Oregon? I forget, somewhere down there. And I've got a lot of video. We got, as I said, great access. We got to see the sky cranes, the Chinooks, sit in the cockpits. We got to talk to the pilots. We got to talk to the mechanics and go in their mechanic trailers. It is going to be really interesting, and I'll have a couple videos coming out of that, and I'll be working on that today. Also, a little bit more. We've probably got one more redwood video I'll share with you. But also, I'll have a lot of stuff from the camp meeting. And I think that that's kind of a new, or something that people are not familiar with. What is a Christian camp meeting? Well, a camp meeting is a group of people. It really harkens back to the days of the Feast of Tabernacle with the Jews, where the children of Israel would come together once a year, and they would set up small tents, or booths they called it, and it was a time of reflection. It was a time away from the daily grind to reconnect with your fellow man, fellow believers, and really reconsecrate yourself to God. This is something that's been lost by and large by a lot of organized religion, and a lot of devout Christian people are bringing this custom back. There are some organizations that have never departed from it, but I'm seeing it more and more all the time. And I think a lot of us, myself included, are somewhat disenchanted with organized religion. You have heard me say that I don't consider myself a religious person. And the reason why I say that is I don't like what religion has become, and by and large it's become a business. I don't know the term of it, but there's a phenomena that takes place with large corporations, where you can take a small upstart, a business that's really innovating, it's really bringing fantastic new ideas, new products to the market, and then it becomes so successful that it becomes a victim of its own success. And it stops innovating, and it stops being progressive and moving forward, and it essentially circles the wagons and starts protecting its own. It starts in protecting the monolithic structure that it's become. And oftentimes that will manifest itself in lawsuits and anyone who's trying to attack, or anyone that's trying to copy what it has created. All of its energy, all of its resources are all devoted towards protection. It no longer is moving forward. It's no longer innovating. It seems to me, and this is just my opinion, but it seems to me that this phenomenon is very much in effect in a lot of the organized religions. Whichever, take your pick. And I see it in things, terms like risk management. Perfect example. There's an organization that has a very big international church that has a mission pilot program. And these pilots will fly into very dangerous remote areas to spread the gospel, to spread the good news to people who have not yet heard it. Well, funding for these particular mission pilots is being cut back because it's deemed by the organization to be too dangerous. And when that starts happening, when you start limiting what God can do in people's lives and limiting what is done and the work that is done because of insurance underwriters or because you're concerned about the organization as a whole, it seems to me that you've lost your way. So I'm really excited about this movement, and I've been involved in it for some time. And there's a lot of people that are breaking away from these organized religions and starting home churches where they're meeting in each other's churches. And it's and I think that that is the future. You know, it's always been God has given the responsibility to spreading the gospel to groups of people. And if we look and we read back to the history of the Bible, we'll find out that when those people circled the wagons and started to hoard that, the oracles of God, started to hoard the good news and not to share it, to segregate themselves from the world, God removed that from them and gave it to someone who was willing to do the work. And I think, it seems to me, that that is taking place now. True innovation, true gospel work is going out and is being done, by and large, by the lay, by the people that are taking it upon themselves to do it. They're not willing to sit in a pew, not willing to be stagnant and just go along with the status quo, but go forward, to become the tip of the spear. And I would like to count myself in that group. So camp meetings are, by and large, I guess, an outpouring or a reflection of this new idea, which is not new. It's being done out of necessity. So I will share that with you. So the reason why I went to the camp meeting was to share practical skills, because I think it's important that families pull themselves out of the city, if that's what God calls them to do, and to slow down, simplify their lives, get off that treadmill and get back to the things that matter, which is time together and time to reflect, and a quieter, simpler life. So a lot of people want to do this. They desire to do this. They don't have the skills. They don't have the abilities. And that's what my involvement was with this. So I'll share a video about that. And I guess that's about it. So I have a lot of work to do. This went very long, and I apologize for that. But I will start getting some really interesting, great videos up starting today. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your patience. And I will see you guys on the next video.